just arrived here in Panama, and I wanted to give you all my first impressions as I literally landed maybe 40 minutes to an hour ago. I was just dropped off at my hotel. Um, the first thing that I want to say is not even about the first thing that I want to discuss is not even about Panama, the country itself. It's just about how I don't know if you guys remember years ago I had a trip to Panama planned, and I canceled it last minute just because I felt like the excitement of landing in a new country and speaking Spanish had gone away. Because I'm not gonna lie, that has gone away, right? So like when I landed in Panama, I remember when I landed in Peru and landed in Colombia years ago, as somebody who had a Spanish level that was a little lower than mine is now. I remember landing and feeling enamored and feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm using this language and this is different, this is unique. I did not feel like that at all landing in Panama. I just got off my flight, talked to the people. Of course, in the airport when they see that gringo passport, they I just had to make sure my passport is still with me, but they automatically start talking to you in Spanish. So it's almost like the same thing that happens in the States sometimes when you speak Spanish and you're speaking Spanish to someone and they respond to you in English. Well, the same thing happened here in the airport. But as soon as I left the airport and met my Uber, like as soon as I got in and started talking to him, and I'm not, I guess maybe I used to be a shy person. I'm not a shy person anymore. Like as soon as I got into the Uber, I'm like, sí, perdón por hacerte tantas preguntas, pero, and I just start asking him questions about Panama, about where he lives in Panama and whatnot. And again, it just feels normal. It feels like I landed in a different city in the United States. I don't get the like, oh my gosh, I'm in another country. And I think part of the reason that I used to get that was because of the language barrier. That language barrier is not really there anymore. I speak Spanish well. And so it's been kind of unique. It's been kind of unique. So again, the allure of everything kind of wore off. I will say though, when I was pulling out of the airport and driving like on the route from the airport, I was looking and I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of the United States. Like I saw Planet Fitness, I saw. It just reminded me of the United States. Where I am now, which I was told is kind of like the nice central area of the city. I'm in Panama City, by the way. Um, this seems like a different country. It doesn't seem. I don't get the same vibe that I got from Colombia. So again, I'm now transitioning into talking about my first impressions of Panama itself, the country. I don't get the same vibes that I got when I landed in Colombia, where it's like you hear the vallenato playing, like it's different than the U.S. Like this is different. It is different. It's very much is different, but it's not like shockingly different at all. Like Peru was shockingly different, and again, I don't know if that was the result of the language barrier still being strong at that point in my Spanish, right? It could be it could have been that, or it could just simply be that again when I Panama just doesn't seem crazy different. I will say though, it didn't seem. Let me be careful. It didn't seem crazy different. Now, however, who is this? Okay, he's a worker, but now, however, I can see the difference. Like when we got to where I am now, oh yeah, you see the movement in the streets, you see the people, and you get the different vibe. It's very interesting. Um, I haven't interacted with a lot of people outside of airport staff, and I don't really use them as a good judge of the average person in the country. But everybody seems to be cool vibes. I haven't really talked to that many people besides my Uber driver and a couple of taxi drivers who, like, I'll tell you what happened at the airport. So I've been told to only use Uber here, and I'm just gonna use Uber in any country that I go to. And you know, one taxi driver comes up and he's speaking to me in his broken English, and I speak to him in Spanish, and then I see his real personality come out, and he's like, I'm like, sí, me siento más acostumbrado con Uber, ¿no? O sea, ya he pedido un Uber, entonces ya voy a ir con un Uber. And he was like, pero me estás quitando trabajo, o sea, los Ubers. And he was like, then he proceeds to say, ¿cuánto te cobra el Uber? And I'm like, $20. And he's like, see, I'm not the smartest guy in the book, but I'm not an idiot in terms of just stuff like that. And he's like, ¿cuánto te cobra el Uber? And I was like, $20. He's like, te cobro 20. And I was like, ¿cómo es que me vas a cobrar 20 y ni siquiera sabes dónde voy a ir? I was like, how are you going to charge me 20 and you don't even know where I'm going? Like, and so when I when I said that, he was just like, he kind of looked at me like, ya me pillaste, like you got me, like you caught me. And then he kind of just hit me on the shoulders like, you got it. He didn't say it. I forgot what he said exactly in Spanish, but he was kind of like, oh, you got it, man. Like you're not one of those ones, you know. Like you're speaking the language and you're using some logic. I wouldn't even call that street smarts. That's just logic. Again, I was just like, me vas a cobrar $20, ni siquiera sabes dónde voy a ir. ¿Qué tal si voy a la playa y me vas a cobrar 20? Eso no tiene sentido. And he's like, oh, yeah. He just kind of hit me on the shoulder. I was like, yeah, all right. And so it's been interesting. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to do more parts of this first day um, reaction, basically a reaction to the first day. But it's cool. Again, I don't feel much different. It doesn't feel like I'm in a completely different place, although I am in a different country. And again, I'm not sure if that's a result of my language skills improving, or if it's a result of just Panama being a little bit more similar to what I'm used to seeing in my home country. So I'm sure you guys hear the taxis in the back. I'm going to sit down and read for maybe an hour or so until I can check into my hotel, and then I'll be back with more first impressions. Hopefully I can get some cool people to be willing to be on camera. So usually when you go against your first mind and do things that you kind of in the back of your mind know are not good ideas, this is normally when bad things happen. But I was talking to my Uber driver on the way here, and he mentioned how, sí, en Panamá todo tranquilo, o sea, nada te va a pasar, tú puedes andar tranquilo con tu cámara, nada te va a pasar. Solo que no vayas a San Miguelito, me dijo. And if you're from San Miguelito and you're from Panama, I'm not insulting your barrio. This is just what the taxi driver told me, and some other Panamanians told me the same thing. So he basically said, just don't go there and you can take out your camera. So I'm going to break one of my personal rules, and I'm going to go into the streets of Panama, which is a safe society, but I don't care. I'm careful in Buckhead in Atlanta. I'm careful in Alpharetta in Atlanta. These are affluent neighborhoods in Metro Atlanta. And so, long story short, I'm going to go out with my camera. I actually might even take the Metro just to get a true experience. Because people are talking to me, I'm not going to have to interact with everybody, but some people are talking to me as if I'm Panamanian. Like, until I showed the lady at the counter downstairs my passport, she thought I was Panamanian. And a little American privilege came out, I'm not going to lie. When I came back, like she made me wait basically to check in, and then when I came back with my passport, she's like, oh, like her demeanor changed, I'm not going to lie, I'm being honest. And so yeah, I'm about to go out, and I'll hopefully be able to get some content for you guys. I want to show you where I am really quick, my humble view of Panama City, again, depending on who you ask, and then we'll get out into the streets and I'll show you what my first day in Panama City looks like. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is that I know it's rainy season, and I'm right now it's like cloudy, it's overcast, and it was just raining, and so I'm not feeling it as bad as I felt it earlier when I got here a few hours ago. At this point, but one thing I just wanted to say, a little side note: people were telling me how hot Panama is, and yeah, it's hot, but like I don't find it to be hotter than Jamaica. I don't find it to be hotter or more humid than Georgia in July or in June, and so this is my personal favorite kind of weather. I know to some of you who are on the West Coast, you're like, what, you like humidity? But I just like it. I like it. I like how my skin feels. I don't know. I just like humidity, and I like heat. So it's the weather's great. I was wrong. It is hot here. Hot here. Like so hot that the jeans that I have on that I'm indirectly obligated to wear because it's what's customary here. These jeans I'm not going to be able to take back to the United States. They're just soaked in sweat, like almost to a point where I'm sounding privileged, but I'm just saying I'm soaked. Like I was soaked walking around today in these jeans. Yeah, so yeah.
¿Qué tal? Mi nombre es Manuel Ruiz, soy un skater latino aquí de Panamá. Bueno, el skater aquí en Panamá, la verdad, es una de las cosas que más se ha popularizado, se ha puesto en tendencia. Los jóvenes hoy en día le ha llamado la atención este deporte extremo, es muy interesante. Yo la verdad inicié hace 5 años y al día de hoy aún sigo aprendiendo. Tengo ahí mi sensei, el que me ha enseñado todo. Y nada, si les interesa el deporte, no tengan miedo porque eso trata la vida, arriesgarse y hacer cosas atrevidas y seguir esforzándose más.
Bueno, aquí el skateboarding en Panamá es un poco polémico, ya que salimos a la calle a patinar, vamos a un parque, los policías no permiten patinar en la calle. Tenemos que ir a un skatepark donde la seguridad es escasa, entonces nos limita el skateboarding, nos limita a subir de nivel, ya que hay pocos skateparks aquí en la ciudad de Panamá. Solamente contamos con uno, que es en la cinta costera 3, y verdaderamente está cerca de un barrio peligroso, donde arriesgamos nuestra vida. Entonces, al limitar los skateparks aquí en Panamá, nos limita también a nosotros. ¿Y qué hacemos? Vamos a la calle a patinar, como obviamente nos conocen a nosotros los skaters patinando en la calle. El problema aquí es que la seguridad sí está perfecta, pero lo que no entienden ellos es que no hay lugar donde patinar. Y si hubiera lugares donde patinar, nosotros no, porque hay que aceptarlo, dañamos lo de la urbanización. Entonces yo, como skater intermedio, o como le dijo mi compañero, siempre vamos aprendiendo algo nuevo, diría que hiciera más skate para aquí, que el gobierno le pusiera más atención a los muchachos, al skateboarding, al nivel que tiene la gente aquí, porque hay bastante gente que tiene nivel, mas no lo hace reflejar porque no hay apoyo. Entonces, si no hay apoyo, no podemos salir como ustedes, los estadounidenses. Hay los estadounidenses full, SLS, competencias internas, y ahí es donde se observa quién tiene nivel a representar el país. Entonces, el detalle aquí en Panamá es que no hay apoyo. Solamente ves cancha de fútbol, cancha de básquet a full, pero no ves un spot donde, ahí están los skaters y la comunidad se vuelva más grande, porque aquí la comunidad del skateboarding solamente lo conocemos nosotros los skaters porque patinamos, pero gente que no nos conoce, nada más, esa comunidad es pequeña, pero nosotros sí somos algo, somos aquí en Panamá intermediamente un poco grande. Que no nos reconozcan como reconocen a los futbolistas, que ya aquí en Panamá está saturado de futbolistas. En estos días casualmente vino un reconocido estadounidense que juega en los Booker. Solamente se cuenta de vez en cuando alguien de aquí de Panamá que represente en otro país y que sea reconocido. Entonces, a lo que quiero decir es que el gobierno de Panamá que apoye el skateboarding, para que la gente con nivel salga a representar y solamente no sea como normalmente siempre se ve, fútbol y de vez en cuando básquet.
Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, bro.
Mi nombre es Michael. Sí, y apellido Benjamin. Sí. Ok, gracias.
O sea, agua,
Agua, sí, por favor.
agua de la casa o agua de botella. botella.
Ah, de la casa está bien.
¿De la casa?
Ya estoy listo. Sí. Quiero el medio jerk chicken,
Yo chequé.
pero si no está bien, pero quiero reemplazar este es arroz
Ajá, los con huevos.
en vez de arroz
Tengo patacones y papas fritas.
tampoco. Pero se puede gracias. Se puede reemplazar el arroz por no sé, plátanos o coleslaw o ensalada que vi, algo así.
Ajá,
Ah,
sí.
sí.
Puede ser coleslaw solamente
Sí, en vez del
de arroz.
Ujú.
Ok. Tengo, o sea, puede ser sweet plantain
Perfecto.
o puede ser o solamente ensalada.
Sweet plantain.
Just sweet plantain.
Ajá, ajá. Perdón, quiero más sweet plantain,
Ok.
pero además también, yo puedo pagar, está bien
Sí,
pagar extra.
ok. El pollo
Ajá.
viene con un acompañamiento.
Exacto.
Puede ser o solo ensalada
Ujú.
y las tajadas, la orden adicional.
Eso.
¿Está bien?
Sí.
Ok. ¿Algo de tomar solamente agua o algo
Agua
más?
está bien.
Agua
Sí.
solamente.
Sí. Gracias.
Mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Liz.
Liz, muchas
Ajá, a la
gracias.
orden.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Cuando vengan a Panamá están todos cordialmente invitados a la Tapa del Coco a probar la mejor comida afropanameña.
Hola, mi nombre es Liz. Acá los vamos a estar atendiendo, esperando para que puedan probar el guampot, almejas en coco y curry, súper ricas. Así que es un must,
con mucho amor.
un must que vengan aquí a Panamá a la Tapa del Coco.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Víctor, somos Vale Parking de la Tapa del Coco. Bueno, si llegan a Panamá, pues les recomiendo totalmente este restaurante. Aquí en Panamá el clima es bien tropical, bien chévere, se lo recomiendo. La ambientación es bien chévere, súper cool, las personas, el trato es súper cool, la comida es muy buena. Y bueno, cuando lleguen aquí, nosotros personalmente lo atendemos.
Vale. Que tenga buenas noches.